I think I would make a great comedian. I mean, I do have the charisma, right? But there were a lot of things holding me back from this dream. The main one being my immensely high performance anxiety. I can't even record a video unless this whole half of the house is completely empty. I'm home alone right now, so no one can hear me if I start going, "Ah!" Hell, my dad doesn't even know what the green screen is for. He keeps telling everyone it's for porn. He told this to my grandpa, and now everyone's buying me sex toys for Christmas. Curse you, supportive families! Public speaking is a very common phobia, unlike my other phobias of rowdy St. Bernards, solid things in my food, and Christian parents. I thought the easiest way to get over my fear of public speaking was to do some public speaking. So I signed up for a speech class that was meant to improve my public speaking skills. Boy, was I wrong! That class was a living nightmare. I would have rather been found dead in a Starbucks listening to Ed Sheeran's Shape of You. Hi, I just really wanted to say that this is a really nice corpse. I mean, it really brings the whole room together. I'm just in love with your body. But I don't think I hated the speech class because of the public speaking. No. In fact, the small crowd that I had to public speak to was really cool. Shoutouts to Thomas! The worst part about speech class had to have been the speech teacher. On the first day we were supposed to give a speech, our first ever speech. The room was dead silent. We were all extremely tensed up. I was dressed up like Colonel Goddamn Sanders. And giving a speech is an incredibly stressful and anxiety-inducing task. And do you know what does help reduce anxiety greatly? Getting yelled at by your teacher. It really didn't help that I was getting yelled at by the teacher, the whole class was getting yelled at by the teacher, and I was sitting there dressed up as Colonel Sanders, like, I was Kentucky Fried fucked. It was the most demotivating thing ever. Sitting there dressed up in Colonel Sanders with white suspenders, and having your speech teacher sit there and go, "You all suck! Die!" And as soon as she's done doing that, she's like, "You're up, Jason." I walked into that class feeling like I owned the world. Then I go up to give the speech, and now the world owns me. I am now the world's bottom bitch. The world was more than happy to doom eternal glory kill my ass. I was sweating, I was stuttering, I was shuffling back and forth, which according to this piece of paper right here, deduces me 4 points out of this 85-point assignment. I thought if I did a backflip in the middle of my speech, she'd be really impressed. She wasn't impressed. My speech was on the curse of Colonel Sanders, but the only cursed thing about that speech were my clearly visible armpit stains. To put things into perspective, on the last day I ever had to do a speech for this class, she wouldn't let me go up and give the speech because I was missing a singular internal citation in my outline. The outline, not the speech itself. No. The speech was fine. It was ready to go. The outline had a big major flaw. No internal citation. Never mind the internal citations that were on the speech itself, or the citations at the end of the speech in alphabeticalized order. No. None of those are important. I missed one internal citation and got an F on the assignment. I missed one very small, minuscule, unimportant detail on this assignment worth 100 points and kind of determined whether I'd get the grade or not. A small detail that was never a criteria ever before in this class, so you could see why I overlooked it. I was robbed out of The script says 120 points. I thought it was 100 points. That is way worse. I'm now even slightly angrier about this teacher than I was before. Oh, gee willikers. I walked away from that speech class more afraid of giving a speech than I ever have in my entire life. My career as a stand-up comedian Ha! That class was way worse than opening up a gift-wrapped strap-on in front of my grandma. I have a fully functioning penis, thank you very much. So, for this video, I would like to right the wrongs of the past. I would like to deliver the Colonel Sanders speech. No judgmental teacher, no sweaty armpits, no awkward backflips, and no Colonel Sanders costume, because it messes with the green screen. Just me, my tripod, this green screen, and that ring light. Not you, though. You do not exist in my headcanon. I am talking to a phone on a tripod, who occasionally leave me very angry comments. At the prime age of 40, Harlan Sanders was running a military service station filled with a bunch of hungry soldiers, travelers, and all of the likes. Having experience making fried chicken for almost 10 years now, he was more than happy to feed anyone and everyone his specially flavored, curated fried chicken. This prompted him to open up a restaurant across the street from the service station, and after providing fried chicken to so many people for 5 entire years, the governor, Ruby LaFawn, appointed Harlan the rank of Colonel, a title which he held with honor. Colonel Harlan Sanders worked hard all of his life, starting roadside restaurants during the Great Depression to founding a multi-billion-dollar fast food fried chicken company. But what if someone, or some group of people, disrespected his hard work greatly, even after his untimely demise in 1980? Is Colonel Sanders the kind of person to swear vengeance on people even after death? No matter where in the world you are, I'm going to inform you about how a group of people disrespected the Colonel, the superstitions and repercussions they faced because of this, and what people are doing now to correct what happened almost 36 years ago. I want to talk about the curse of Colonel Sanders. So many people consider the Colonel to be a vengeful spirit, including the Japanese baseball team, the Hanshin Tigers. And according to Hugo Nishinamiya, Nishinam, an author of a series of English-translated articles regarding the Hanshin Tigers, that after winning a pennant in 1985, fans of the Hanshin Tigers began to celebrate, naturally, seeing as their favorite team just won a big game that could lead to the championship. These fans, though, began to celebrate a little too hard as they continued a long Hanshin Tigers celebratory tradition of having lookalikes of the team members volunteer to jump into the Totem Boy Canal, a highly polluted and sludgy river in Japan. I'm not sure why this is a tradition, but is one that has been celebrated for years by the Hanshin fans. Referring back to the English-translated articles by Hugo Nishinamiya, nobody could find a lookalike for one particular player, Randy Bass, an American baseball player who found himself in a bit of a pickle. Randy was blonde, with a scruffy beard, and the Hanshin Tigers struggled to find a Randy lookalike willing to jump off a bridge into a river that smells like it created the three-eyed fish from The Simpsons. And so the Hanshin fans had to get crafty with their ritual baseball sacrifice. Hugo Nishinamiya wrote that a large group of intoxicated Hanshin Tiger fans fumbled their way to the local KFC, and out front of every KFC in Japan stood a life-size statue of the Colonel. The fans, despite efforts from the KFC employees, released the Colonel from his bolts and hauled it off to the Dotonbori Canal. Colonel Sanders then fulfilled his duty of being a Randy Bass lookalike and satisfied the drunken Hanshin Tiger fans. Now, this part in the script was crossed off by the teacher, so I'm just going to read it anyway, because screw her. Now, personally, if I had a statue of myself desecrated in the name of a sports tradition, I'd genuinely be flattered. Mostly because in this scenario, I would have a statue of myself, and besides that saddening fact, I personally laugh at the whole situation. I, however, am not Colonel Harlan Sanders. We are vastly different. Every curse has its inciting incident, of course. The case of superstition and paranoia that gets the whole ball rolling. And the Colonel's curse, it started It's a simple, unremarkable sentence. Coming back to Hugo Nishin... This guy. He says a late Japanese TV show called The Night Scoop took viewer requests for mysteries they should solve. Well, this card's upside down. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, jeez. The cards got scrambled on me. I think it's because I sat on them while watching YouTube videos. This is what I get for subscribing to Daniel Thrasher. A viewer had pleaded that they find a missing Colonel Sanders statue tossed into the Dodenboy Canal, and Night Scoop was up to the task. They searched the canal, starting with the bridge Colonel Sanders was tossed in, and went 5,000 miles downstream. The search was in vain, for they did not locate the statue. This led the host of Night Scoop to one conclusion, a sentence that would spark a series of hysteria, one that temporarily slandered the great Kentucky Fried King's name. Until the Colonel is rescued and cleansed of the sludge, Hanshin has no hope of winning a championship. The bad luck began when the Hanshin Tigers star slugger had a 663-game Iron Man streak and ended a year after the Colonel was vandalized. He then took an injury to the shoulder and then promptly broke a bone in the field, leading to his early retirement. What the fuck? How'd I get all the way over there? Their ace pitcher broke his heel defending first base, and Randy Bass was cut mid-season due to his untimely return to America to tend to his ill son. Stated by a Japanese guy whose name I cannot pronounce for the life of me, the Hanshin Tigers became the bottom of the bracket, the laughingstock of the Japanese baseball league. They couldn't catch a break. Hanshin wouldn't win another pennant until 2003, 18 years after the Colonel was besmirched, and to this day, they still haven't won another championship. The Colonel had won. He got back at those drunken fans by ruining the one thing they cared about their most. Fast forward to present day, and the players in the Hanshin Tigers couldn't be happier, as their curse is nearly broken. According to a 2009 article posted by NPR, a group of river cleaners were doing their job, which was cleaning the river, when they just so happened to have bumped into the long-lost statue of Colonel Harlan Sanders, 8,000 miles away from the original sacrificial location. 3,000 miles away from where Night Scoop called it quits. Timed into the Colonel well, however, as he was missing his left hand and his glasses. But all that mattered to the fans of the Hanshin Tigers was that they found the source of their misery. The article states that the statue of the Colonel was cleansed and restored as much as it could be, but missing a hand and glasses, and was shipped all over the place. At one point in time, it resided in the KFC headquarters in Japan, where, ironically enough, it was seen as a symbol of good luck. Sadly, the Hanshin Tiger fans still haven't improved much in their baseball career, and people are pointing to the fact that the statue is still missing pieces. And until those are found and restored, the team will continue to play poorly. Randy Bass told the fellas over at NPR that he was astounded by the revival process of the Colonel statue. Over the years, he'd become a state senator for Oklahoma, which I found to be pretty funny. And he still puts his faith in the Hanshin Tigers team. Colonel Harlan Sanders, a savvy businessman who started by selling chicken in a street-side diner during the Great Depression. A man who curated 13 herbs and spices and changed the way we think about fried chicken. An entrepreneur that is a household name, and he has his very own dating sim on Steam. The face of a multi-billion-dollar company that serves food that I personally do not like at all. I really do not like their chicken. I only go there for the biscuits and the mashed potatoes. I don't really like biscuits, but I think their biscuits are like God-tier biscuits. I think they serve some pretty damn fine biscuits. The mashed potatoes are mid, but I have to eat something other than just biscuits or I will be sick. I don't like their chicken, but I respect the man behind the creation of the chicken, because I'm afraid if I don't, he'll put a curse on me too. I think that speech was way more than a D+ in my opinion. Like, let's quickly go over what she knocked me off for. She said my preview stated not all of the main points. I didn't want to spoil the story. She wrote in cursive what looks like the word oi, O-U-I, then the letter G standing all by itself, and then it's A-D-E. Oi-ja-ad. A thesis was missing. Thesis nuts. Then I got deduced points for turning to the screen and addressing what was on it, because there was a screen behind me and it was a presentation. Apparently I'm not allowed to point at the pictures and be like, yes, this is a picture of the Hanshin Tigers. I thought that speech was fun. I thought it was entertaining. I mean, I've given that speech like 9 times now, and I think it's the most amazing speech this side of the Mississippi. So if you're watching this, my 12th grade speech teacher, you were cruel and unfair, and I'm so glad that they now no longer make speech a required course. Instead of yelling at the students who are already mildly humiliated for being dressed up as Colonel Sanders in class, and yelling at them, maybe don't do that. Maybe give them words of encouragement. Maybe bring them a cookie or something. I would also like to give a brief update to my high school sucks and got sued video. I graduated. After a series of very, very angry, passive-aggressive emails and an angry phone call from my aunt, they finally found my biology credit. They just made me take the final exam again. Now, here's the kicker. Here's where things got good. Then they found my credit. They found the issue. And I just recovered it. So I got a free credit. I am baffled by the fact that this school is still even running. Now, if you excuse me, I'm off to go to church. I have to deal with my fear of Christian parents one way or another. Oh, geez, I really hope they don't find out about my strap-on. That would be really embarrassing.